Super Cool Radio.
Hey everyone, before we jump into the show, I want to tell you about our merch store on Threadless. Shop a wide variety of logos with multiple colors and sizes available for each design. Your support is greatly appreciated and helps us continue to make killer content like this episode. Please visit supercoolradio.threadless.com or the link in the description to shop now. Hello everyone! I am Matthew Thomas. This is Super Cool Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in on your favorite streaming platform. I very much appreciate it. I have a great show lined up for you guys. My guest recently released her debut single entitled Sass. She's an awesome neon cowgirl from Las Vegas. She is a Siena. Before I bring Siena on for a great conversation, I'm going to feature her debut single, Sass, for you guys. It's awesome. Got some country and rock elements in there. It is a really awesome song. I hope you guys enjoy. But please check out Stream Support. Give a like to Siena. I'm going to bring her on momentarily. But right now, here is her debut single, Sass. Check it out.
Ain't we had a long week? Well, I know what you need. A little cowgirl TLC and some honky-tonk company. Cause you know it's gonna be late. Pre-game starts at 8. But we can make them wait. And we'll tell them it's your birthday. Well, if you ain't first, you could go last. Just tell me how you like that sass. Dancing on the bar tonight, swinging from the neon lights. Drinks are going down just right, and I see you seeing you like what you see. Living like we got no past. Tonight we're gonna make it last. Morning's gonna come too fast. Just tell me how you like that sass. You're looking like trouble to me. Boy, you better bring the heat. Cause if I like what I see, I think it's gonna go down neat. We can take it slower, we can go fast. Just tell me how you like that sass. Dancing on the bar tonight, swinging from the neon lights. Drinks are going down just right. I see you seeing you like what you see. Living like we got no past. Tonight we're gonna make it last. Morning's gonna come too fast. Just tell me how you like that sass. Left, right, run, we walk. Hips, head, swing, now stomp. Gloss your lips or not. Cause no one gets to say how you want it. Left, right, run, we walk. Hips, head, swing, now stomp. Gloss your lips or not. Cause no one gets to say how you want it. No one gets to say how you want it. And no one gets to say how you want it. Dancing on the bar tonight, swinging from the neon lights. Drinks are going down just right. And I see you seeing you like what you see. Living like we got no past. Tonight we're gonna make it last. Morning's gonna come too fast. Just tell me how you like that. Dancing on the bar tonight, swinging from the neon lights. Drinks are going down just right. And I see you seeing you like what you see. Living like we got no past.
I have a really great guest with me at this time. She's a super cool neon cowgirl from Las Vegas, Nevada, who recently released her debut single entitled Sass. Please welcome Siena.
Thank you, Matthew, so much. I'm happy to be here.
Of course, thank you so much. I checked out the new single. I very much enjoy it. We will be talking about that coming up just a little bit. I did want to talk about, so for you, how'd you get started as a musician?
Oh goodness, I've been singing country music, watching CMT countdown on TV. I started to play guitar. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've lived in country music my whole life, really. I started taking it serious. Well, I started taking vocal lessons at 8, around there, and I started singing by myself with a girl group I was in. My mom decided to put me in guitar and piano lessons. I could play a little piano. I'm more advanced in the guitar, but I'll say I just grew up riding in the truck with my mom and playing the country music radio stations and singing along, really, and I loved it.
That's really awesome, especially to get started at a younger age, especially obviously in the truck with your mom listening to music. I think that is really cool, and I think that's really awesome.
Thank you. It was just the way we lived.
But no, so for you, who are some of your influences? Is there any particular musician that like stuck out to you while you were like listening to music, or any kind of thing like that?
Yeah, sure. I would say I definitely grew up listening to Martina McBride, Trisha Yearwood, Faith Hill, Shania Twain. Those are my top influences I listened to growing up, and even now some. But as of now, I really love Miranda Lambert, her songwriting, and the way that she has the ability to really just tell a story. She has such a storytelling voice, in my opinion, and I look up to her as a big influence. Her and I, share a country background. Also, Carrie Underwood, massive voice, massive performer. And I also love Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. I really admire their songwriting style as well. They take you on this dream and this experience, And John Mayer, I love the way he writes, very metaphoric. I get influence from him as well. So yeah, a little mix of everything.
No, right on. That's how it should be, to build your own style and sound in music. Obviously there's many different influences with different styles for each influence, but it's really awesome. You listed some very high caliber, very talented musicians, but definitely very big like songwriters as well, not just musicians, but very great songwriters. I
want to listen and get influence from people who I want to aspire to be, sort of like take bits and pieces, but also be true to myself and how I would say it and how I would sing it or how I would orchestrate it, So gotta live how you do.
Exactly. Yes. I like that for sure. So I did want to talk about, obviously, so your debut single, Sass, currently out on all the streaming platforms. So for you, like, how was it writing and recording the debut single?
It kind of came pretty easy, to be honest. My great friend, co-writer and producer, Don Miggs, great guy. And we went into this, I went to his studio that day, and he had shown me earlier, before I got there, he had made a little voice memo of something that he thought would be cool for us that day. And of course, we just get to talking and chatting. And he said to me, there's that saying, tell me how you like that ass. But what if it's tell me how you like that sass? And I said, honestly, that's pretty catchy. And it's a little twist, and it's more age appropriate for like the young girls or young boys. And it would be fun, even for all ages. Tell me how I like that sass. It's fun to be sassy. Why not? So we basically wrote the song in 30 to 40 minutes. He played the guitar demo while I was singing my rough vocal demo. We could see each other in the studio in different sets. And we did that once or twice or so. And a few weeks later, we went in. He had the track redone professionally, and then I went in to redo my vocal. And that was it. It just came like that. It was fun to do, really.
Well, that's really cool. It sounded like obviously came together very quickly, but it was, to me, listening to it, I very much enjoy it. It's got like a little bit of rock influence in there as well. Like it's very upbeat, very very quick, but it's very cool. It's very fun listening to it as well.
Thank you. I wanted to bring like encouragement, empowerment, confidence, and all around a good time. I always say I haven't really heard of a really cool girls' night out song lately. So after we wrote Sass, I was like, well, guess we just wrote one.
No, for sure, and definitely, again, it's really cool to listen to. So was that like a quick like turnaround for like writing the song to like producing and all that? Was that very quick for you?
I will say we wrote the song, like I said, in 30 to 40 minutes, and then about a month later, about a month or so after I got my vocal done and we got the whole band in the studio to lay everything down, Don, he produced it and did his mixing. And then the song has to go off to a mixing engineer where it's officially like printed and done and mastered, So that took a while just because I had some other songs being mastered as well. So it's a process, but honestly, it went fairly quick in my opinion. Sometimes it could take longer. Sometimes it can just be really quick if you're doing one. But since I was doing a little project for everyone, it's coming up soon. It did take just a few months, so it wasn't that bad.
Right on. Well, since you did mention it, so could you give any hints of like the project that you're working on?
Well, there might be a music video for Sass coming up soon.
Very nice. I definitely look forward to that.
It's going to be a fun one. And of course, always new music. I want to keep creating new music and putting stuff out that I'm passionate about. And, I think as a songwriter, it's always important to be evolving and learning. And, sometimes if you have setbacks, or we call it writer's block sometimes, it's okay. You learn from it and you just keep moving on. Even if you just write a lame song, that's still a song you created and you wrote. So that's a good thing. But I really love, like I was saying, Miranda Lambert, the way she writes her songs with her writers, and even Fleetwood Mac. Everything is kind of metaphoric and dreamy, and it takes you on this story. And even if I'm saying it about myself or someone else or something that I saw, I think it's very important to write and curate the lyrics in a way that takes you on this journey and kind of captures you. So yeah.
Oh, for sure, definitely. And I think that's what's really cool about Sass, that it tells a story. There, obviously there's a story throughout the whole song as well. That's why I'm definitely looking forward to the music video, because the song itself is very fun. So now to put like visual art to that as well, I think it's going to turn out really well.
I think so too. Thank you.
So for you, since as you said, you're a songwriter, so like, what's like your writing process? Like, how do you build a song?
It's different for everyone and anyone really. For me, kind of not necessarily. If I go into a write, I'll have an idea or like a humming melody or like a lyric of something, and I want to write on that. And then whoever I'm writing with, we bounce ideas off each other. And for me, it usually is the lyrics first. And then, as you're writing the lyrics, you might have your guitar or your co-writers, and they might be shooting off ideas at each other. So it's always been the lyrics most for me. And like I said, as you're doing that, you just play a little chord here or there. But that's how it mainly goes. And then just do a rough demo on your phone or in the studio right quick with a guitar or whatnot. So that's how it usually happens for me, at least.
No, right on. Yeah, I'm always curious, like for different songwriters, what they start with, what they gravitate towards first.
Right.
But it's either music or lyrics first. It's usually what happens, or sometimes there's some people who start with very outside the box stuff. So it's always curious, at least for me, how people start.
Right. I will say I was working on an original a few months ago, and there was this guitar loop that Don, my co-writer and producer, had actually he played it and put in this other song we were working on. And for just genre purposes, we had to take it out because it was a slightly too pop, but I loved it so much. So I'm going to have to ask him if we can use that loop or that playing and another song, and then start on that. So you never know. The music or lyrics comes first.
Yeah, exactly. It just, honestly, it's art, and there's really no correct way to start something. There's no incorrect way to start something. As long as you're inspired to do something, that's what art and music is.
Absolutely. Make it colorful.
That's right. So for you, is there like any musicians that you want to collaborate with on a song?
Absolutely. I would love Miranda Lambert or Stevie Nicks, obviously. Big influences in my life. I also am a big fan of Keith Urban. My mom she was the biggest fan of him, and then growing up listening to him with her play him in the truck, he is music. The way he plays, the way he feels what he's playing, the way he performs, that would be iconic. And also another artist I look up to a lot is Riley Green. He's very outdoors and he sings about what he does. I find that similar to myself because I sing about, my hunting or my fishing or being with my horse, or I have a side job. I do welding sometimes. So I think anyone who sings about what they really do and their true lifestyle is someone that is true and that I would be open to collaborating with. But mainly I would say Miranda Lambert and Stevie Nicks.
But that would be incredible. I do hope that happens for you.
Me too.
I did. Keith Urban, like he's very like emotional and passionate. Like either through song or seeing him live, like you just tell like he is music. Like he lives for music.
He really is. He's actually friends with my friend Don Miggs, so maybe I'll have to pull some strings there.
Hey, well,
Never know.
I do hope that happens as well because I know you guys working together. That would be so cool. I bet the song would be amazing too.
Maybe one day.
That's right. I know. Obviously, you're just starting out with obviously your debut single Sass, but I know you got a lot ahead of you, and I look forward to seeing like where you progress from here.
Thank you. And I think I am too. Like I said, I'm still growing. I'm still learning, how to really write a song, how to really make the chords match, I'm a good performer, but how to even get better, or how to, interact with my fans more, what they like on social media. This is such a tough business, and there's not really a true roadmap. Some people blow up more than others, or there's a late start here. Someone put a single out and boom, it was huge. So I think as long as you are being true to your craft and yourself and following your dream and being good to others, there's good karma to come from that.
I 100% agree, definitely. And there is no roadmap for anything like entertainment based, like music or like podcasting. Like I still feel like I'm figuring out stuff. It's been 3 years.
Are we all?
Definitely. But it is just there's a lot of luck to it. Obviously there's skill involved, but there's also a good portion of luck. And obviously with social media, it's very why does this person get why does this person get more engagement compared to this? It just there is so much that goes on with it that there's quite a bit of luck involved as well.
Yes.
So, but I did want to talk about, since you did mention you have a few cool hobbies outside of music that I did want to talk about. So can you elaborate on what are some of your cool hobbies you do outside of it?
Okay, well, there's a couple. I do like to hunt. I do like to fish. Just being outdoors, really. I grew up really on a horse. My mom, when she was younger, she grew up breeding, training, and selling horses. Back when my mom was younger and I was also younger, we would breed some of our brood mares and help, actually birth the babies. It's a beautiful thing to do, really. And you raise them, train them, you break them. You might have a few scratches or bruises from it, but you learn. Getting kicked off or bucked, young horses, they're not trustworthy. So you got to really learn your craft on that. And I have to even learn more still. You never stop learning anything in life. And so I also, as a side hobby back in Las Vegas, I had a welding business making horseshoe art. So I can make horseshoe trivets for like hot plates, candles. I made a horseshoe wine rack, a paper towel holder, a cross. And it was funny because I actually gave this young colt, that's a young male horse, to my roping partner because we team rope together. And I was taking this horse over to his house, and his dad was stick welding on this 18-wheeler. And I asked him, I said, "Is that hard?" And he said, "No, do you want to try it?" And I said, "Sure." And I just put the welding cap on, the gloves, and I tried to stick weld. It wasn't very easy. It's kind of hard to get the spark going at first. But after that, we went on a trail ride to break this young horse in. And then we come back, and I asked his dad, I said, "What else could I make like with welding? I'm sure I can make something." And then the horseshoe business kind of came up. but I haven't done it too much here in Nashville. I'm still looking for a studio to work out of, but it's just a fun little hobby for me to do.
It definitely sounds like this is going back a few years. I welded a little bit because my one friend, he needed help making, like, I don't know if you know, like those wine tree bottles where you put like the wine.
Yes.
So he's like, hey, you want to try welding? And I'm like, sure, I'll try it. I wasn't very good at it. I had too much of like the stick out, so like it kept trying to fuse to so I haven't tried it since, and he's been very busy, so I haven't been able to learn from him.
Right.
So I do hope to, because I always think it's cool. I guess anything with sparks and metal, I guess, is cool too. So that's
Honestly,
why I like doing
outlet
that
for me, to be honest. And and I have with my horse, I have her out here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, so she's not very far from me, just about 30 minutes. But I like just going out there and riding in the back 40 and being in an open field, and we have a little creek in there. So yeah, those are my hobbies: just horses, my music, team roping, and welding, really, and just having fun with friends.
I like all that. Sounds really cool, and definitely like especially being out in nature and stuff, very relaxing, because obviously I know life can get stressful at times, so having a nice outlet to do stuff that stress relieving is definitely very important.
Absolutely, stay grounded.
Definitely, for sure. So I forgot where I was going with my notes, but that's okay. So for you, so I have a new question I try to incorporate every different season to use some different questions throughout. So for you, if you recorded what you considered to be the most perfect song, but it was never released, would you be content knowing you recorded it, or would you want it released?
I would want it released if I thought it was the most perfect song, because it was something I believe in and something that I love. I want other people to hear it as well. And that's part of the process. I might think it's the most perfect song in the whole entire world, but some people might not. And some people may think it's half good. Some people might think it's great. That's what I was saying earlier. I think it's important to, one, know your audience and what they want to hear you say, but also put what you want out in. And I relate those two. It's like, okay, people like me to hear me sing about this, or like to hear me write about that. Okay, so if I take those aspects and my own artistry, how can you connect the two? And that's what people really want to see, the true way you think and how you want to say something, or how you sing it, or even what I wear, So yes, moral story, yes, I'd put it out because it was me and I believe in it.
No, I really like that answer, and that's usually anyone who I do ask, that is what they usually say. The main reason I kind of asked is obviously because, as you said, that is part of the process of, obviously, you record the music, but also to release the music, to get feedback on it. Could be positive, could be negative, could be a building and learning experience. It really depends. But to get other outside people, different people to listen to it, I think it's very important, because that's how you grow as a musician.
Right. And everyone makes mistakes. Some people, they put a song out that didn't get as much traction, but going back on earlier what I said as well, I think it's very important to learn from good things that you did, or some of your mistakes, and just always don't take anything too personal, because business is cutthroat in the world. Some of the world is not very nice. So you just have to really keep positive. As long as you're doing the best you can and treating people the way you want to be treated, and put music out there that you believe in, like I said, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely. But also, and this is kind of what I was talking to a friend a few days ago about this. It's, you have to kind of pick and choose who you listen to. Obviously, if there's someone just online just being mean for no reason, then that's not the person to listen to. You ignore that. But if it's like, obviously trusted friend, colleague, peer, then that's like the people you want the feedback from. Obviously the internet is important. I'm not saying it isn't, but it kind of depends like who you're listening to as well.
Honestly, there's going to be a lot of negative feedback, positive, and I think it's important to listen to not all of it. If people are just being bullies, it doesn't even go in one ear, really. I know me. So, but if someone were to comment on a song, oh, that'd be cool. I like this, but she should have done that. I might take that into consideration, even if it was a 10-year-old. You never know what ideas can spark from others, or what you can create on your own.
Like, I really like how you worded it. That's really good. Yeah, there's so much feedback and stuff. Obviously it's the nice thing about the internet, but also the not so nice part of the internet is just that everyone has like access to say stuff. So
Yeah.
it just really depends, and it depends like how they approach you as well, I think.
Yeah. So, and people say that a lot of that is jealousy or they're just insecure, and that doesn't reflect on who I am or what I'm singing about. It's just some people may need a little help in their life. To say thank you for the comment. Have a blessed day.
No, and that's a good way to approach it. And I know like that's what I try to do as well. Like I don't try to fight anger with anger. I try, obviously just be nice to them. Obviously they could be just having a rough day and just trying to, I don't know, whatever they're trying to do. But we don't know the position they're in, so it's just there's no point in being just building and elaborating on it. But no, so for you as I'm starting to wrap up this interview, so like what's like the plan? Like how are you going to close out 2022, and what's like next year 2023 looking like for you?
Oh my goodness, there's so many things you want to do or you're eager to put out before the year ends, but I've been very patient with my craft and my management and my music, and I think that's very important. Sometimes I do want to rush a few things, or I don't want to do something, and my manager or our consultants come to us and say, I think we need to approach the situation and do this or do that. It's up to you, but this is my advice, and then we work together. But what's coming up for me is, like I said, maybe a music video for Sass coming up soon. And I don't think anything exactly new is coming out this year. We're just really creating some more content, going to be in the studio a lot over the holiday season. And next year, I will, of course, be putting out new music and, doing more interviews, radio interviews, podcasts, shows. And I love to perform live in front of people. So I would say a music video for Sass. That's been out of the bag for a while now. And new music in first quarter of next year. And just, putting myself in opportunities where I can spread the word about my music. And, of course, play live. And I'll have an updated show schedule on my website very shortly, the next first quarter of 2023.
Right on. I look forward to what next year holds for you. But you said there's something very important. I think I did want to touch on real quick is that it is a lot about timing, especially like with music and anything kind of entertainment based, that you can't like rush everything to put it out, because then you have less stuff later to put out. You kind of have to spread it out, get the hype up for whatever the announcements and whatever is new that is coming. So timing and a lot of things is definitely very important.
I would say so. And like I said, I wanted to, put a song out a week. I wanted to put Sass out a week before it actually dropped, but there was just some stuff going on. And so we said, no, we have to wait a week. And it worked out just fine. So, Lord's timing.
Definitely. But I look forward to everything that's coming up. Definitely look forward to the new music video for Sass. I think it's going to be really cool and very fun. So if anyone's interested, where can they find you online?
Well, I want to add something else. I'm also creating some Siena merch. So that'll be on the website. Nice. But on my social media, my Instagram is Siena, Siena music. Instagram, Siena music. My TikTok is my first and last name, actually. Siena, Siena Paglia. There's a lot of cool behind the scenes of me and Gracie, or me welding, or me just having fun. And I think my website is also my full name, SienaPaglia, sienapaglia.com. Right
on. I'm going to drop those links in the description as well. So everybody, please check out the description for all the links to everything Siena. But I had a really great time chatting with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matthew. One thing I like to say at the end of my interviews is treat people the way you want to be treated and be true to yourself. And stay sassy. Yes, I 100% agree with all of that. But as I said, links are in the description. Please check out the debut single entitled Sass, out right now, all the platforms. Remember to stay sassy. But for Siena, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty. And stay sassy. Yes.